but there was no, it was all at a too fast a pace. And this, for me, is what I've been saying for the last 2 days, and probably what I've said in the past as well, is why I always want to control the dog's pace. So when I get a dog to an area, I want the dog to stop, and then I'm killing the speed. So gearbox, send from your side, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, stop. That pause on that stop allows that downshifting gears. Come back down the gearbox, hand out, hunt there. If you teach a dog to hunt by association, so when it goes into areas and you just throw that hunt whistle on top, that's what you get. You get that big, driving, feverish, bullish hunting. Now look at the difference in the dog now. Is because he knows that the retrieve's there, and it's just in an area where he's just been, he's not flying around all over the place. And that's just because the dog's got knowledge that the retrieve's there. So it's belief. The dog slowed down straight away because, one, we took the outrun away from it. We unbolted the outrun and go, okay, here's the same situation now, but without go back. And when he ran down there, he couldn't have gone there any faster. What did you say, Auntie, when he went through? Like,
no, something.
Like if he hadn't slowed down on the brink, he was going to take off. He should have a thin air badge on him. He was nearly going to take off over the edge there. But back to what I was saying yesterday about where you teach your hunting, Santo. So for me, all my hunting is taught with that tennis ball thrown out, the dog put in level with it. Passy, where is it? Is he coming back over? Passy, do you want to come back over? All the hunting is started by throwing that tennis ball out, whether it's seen or whether it's a blind to him, leaving the dog in close proximity to it and just going. So the dog learns that picture. When I'm in this situation, your hand goes to the left, goes to the right, I fall into this pace. He's doing what you're telling him to do most of the time. There was a few handling errors and you told him off when he did. But what he wasn't recognising was the pace that you wanted him to look at. He was just carrying all that speed into it. So if I had to be a betting man, I would say that when you taught him to hunt, you might have done some of these routines close up. But most of the time when he's been going into areas where there's retrieves, you've just been throwing the hunt whistle on top as a commentary and hoping that he's going to bump into the retrieve. And a lot of the time when it's a dummy or when there's 3 or 4 dummies in there, he will bump into them. When there's one, when it's a partridge, when it's a woodcock, when it's a snipe, when it's something small, even when it's a pheasant, when scenting conditions are bad, you ain't going to find it when these are going too fast. It's just not going to happen. These have got to go slow for this to work properly. The faster these go, this has got to be so much better. And that... Sorry?
I have to push her legs.
But to me, that's where your problem lies. It's how you've taught the hunting. So what does it involve? Well, it involves a lot of leg work, an awful lot of leg work, and I do that with my dogs all the time. I'll walk out, once I know that the dog understands what pip pip means, it means pick that ball up. When I know that they understand that, I will leave them off. They might be out on a retrieve down there, then they'll, as they come back, I've already placed a tennis ball out somewhere. So I might have a tennis ball thrower and the dog's on a retrieve up there, and I'll throw a ball out there. I'll walk the dog out, I might take it beyond it, then I'll recall the dog into the area, stop, and then hand to the left, hand to the right, pit, pit. But the most important thing is I'm put in lots of different distances. If I teach it at this distance, the dog only knows it at that distance. It's got to be shown at all the different distances for it to fully understand it. Yeah. So, from your point of view, as much as if I threw this ball to the left or right of him now and went pick pick, he might work into it quite nicely. But what I think he doesn't appreciate is it means exactly the same thing when you're 70 metres away, 100 metres away, whatever, and he's carrying all that pace of his outrun. If I asked you how you feel you've taught his hunt whistle, how would you say you've done it?
Too much left.
Too much when he's moving around fast by throwing it on top. But you can solve it. You can solve it. The interesting thing there, as soon as we took him along across there, okay, you're asking him to hunt into a place where he's just picked from, but because you took the outrun away, left him on the bank, walked back and just went pick pick, instantly he didn't rush. He just came down through the gearbox because he trusted you. And the bottom line is, the reason he was rushing around before was because he didn't trust you. And he was happy to try his own way before he was wanting to try your way. Yeah? Right, we'll